Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins from CraftStash. Now today I've got a really fun optical illusion card to show you. This tutorial is going to be using the brand new Alice in Wonderland elements from CraftStash. I've not got everything in the collection here. I've picked out a selection that I may use. You can find everything linked down below. Now of course if you are a CraftStash VIP member, you're going to save 10% on your purchases like this collection. You're going to get double points and priority dispatch from our warehouse too. If you're not a VIP member, you can find out more about becoming one just for $9.99 or $14.99 if you're not in the UK a year. So amazing value. Again, check out all the details down below. Now let's get on with the tutorial. So for this card, I'm going to be focusing on the toppers, the stickers and the ephemera mostly. I really love that within the stickers we've actually got these arrows because this is going to really help us with that optical illusion and kind of teasing people into look here, look there. So I picked two pieces of cardstock and these work really nicely. I've got sort of a purple deep berry colour and a pale blue. They're going to work nicely with these. And what I'm going to do is basically create two card fronts the same size, the same as my card base, and I'm going to do them completely differently. So I'm going to trim these two first of all down to 6 by 6 inches. So of course I'm going to be using my Creative Craft Products trimmer for this. I absolutely love this trimmer. There are some new tools out within the Creative Craft Products collection. This is things like guillotines, stamping platforms, sort of rotating stamping platforms, mats as well, magnetic mats. There's so much available. So definitely if you haven't already, go and check that out on CraftStash. So on my purple base, I'm going to start with some of the purple coloured toppers and I'm actually going to be overlaying these. They have a beautiful gold foiling on them, which looks absolutely stunning. So I'm going to be placing these maybe something like this, and then I'm going to be taking some of the different ephemera. So we've got Alice sitting within the flowers there, we've got keys, we've got crowns. There's just so much that we can be using, and I'm going to start scattering these around my card base. Everything is going to be glued down completely flat to the card. I'm not going to have anything raised up with foam at all, and everything needs to be glued really securely too. For this I'm using the Creative Craft Products bookbinding glue. My label's a little bit tatty now because I use this a lot. I love on the topper sheets we've got these beautiful florals as well. These are going to work so perfectly in the corners of these sheets. For this one, I'm going to have everything really busy, but I wanted to give the look that Alice was sat amongst really large things. So she'd had the drink and she'd shrunk down. So you've got the drink me bottle really large next to her there. You've got the teacups as well. You've got a large butterfly and she's sitting amongst flowers. So for the time being, there's my first card front, and like I say, it's really busy, but I really like that about the entire Alice in Wonderland theme. There's always lots going on. So now to work on my second sheet, which is going to be the pale blue version. For this, I'm also going to be using some of the toppers, and I'm going to use the opposite two, so again, the blue ones, and I'm going to focus on the Mad Hatter for this side. There we go. So for now I've got my two card fronts. Again, I used just Alice, florals and sort of a scene. So you've got the larger elements around her for the first half or the second half, either way. And I've got all of the other characters. So I've got the White Rabbit and I've got the Mad Hatter, and we've got cards from the Queen of Hearts, etc. on the other side. So now we need to make the mechanism that's going to give us the optical illusion. I've got a piece of cardstock here that's over 12 inches. If you don't have a piece of cardstock longer than 12 inches, you could use two 7 by 7 inch pieces of cardstock and kind of overlap them by about an inch. Ideally, you need about 13 inches in. So the height of this is 6 by 6, which is the same as the panels that I've created. So I'm going to first of all start by just scoring a tab about 1/4 of an inch. That's all you need on the one end. Doesn't matter whether you start on the left or the right, it just depends on your scoreboard. Mine doesn't reach beyond 12 inches, so I need to start here. From here, I need to score every inch. So because I've scored to 1/4, I'm going to score to 1 1/4, 2 1/4, and so on all the way down my piece of cardstock. You should then be left with another tab at the end too. So then you want to start mounting and valley folding, concertina folding your score lines. And you want to make sure that, disregarding the tab, the first one comes up to a mountain. Once you've concertina folded everything, the two end tabs are going to fold inward, and that's what's going to stick to your card base. So now we need to split our backgrounds, our card fronts, into 6-inch long pieces or inch wide pieces each. And these are going to fit onto our concertinaed tab. I'm going to be using my Creative Craft Products trimmer again because I know that I'll have accuracy. Now, because I'm cutting here through a number of layers, you might need to just use a pair of scissors or a couple of goes to get through all of that cardstock. As you cut your strips, make sure you're placing them down in order so that you know where they go when you put your card together. Now we can start adhering our card together. So ignoring the tab, the first tab on your concertina piece, start placing your strips down. Now you're going to alternate these between the two designs. So I'm going to go with the right hand side one from one and place that on the first section there on the right, and then I'm going to take the right hand one from another and place that just next to it. At each stage, make sure you fold up your design so that you don't catch anything later on, and then move to the next section on the purple one, for example, or your first card base that you created. Place this down, and then the second in from the right from the other one. Now at this stage, this is going to look really quite messy and complicated, but don't worry, the magic will happen soon enough. Now you need to take your chosen size of card base, and I'm just going to section this with a pencil, make some marks at each inch along the way there, and the same down the bottom so I can join them up. This is just going to be guidelines for where to glue each of your valley folds to. And it's a good idea at this stage, if you've got a hot glue gun, to perhaps get that heated up and use that, because this is really going to help you stick this card down much quicker without having to hold it for a long time. The first thing I'm going to do here is glue one of my tabs. It doesn't matter here if you start on the left or the right hand side, but I'm going to apply glue to my first tab, and I'm going to put that onto the edge of the card so that the first peak starts at the very edge. So I'm just going to adhere that down, give that a second to take hold. So that way the design should now be on the edge of the card. I would hold that for a good few moments, even burnish it down a couple of minutes to ensure it's really strong before we start constructing the rest of the card. Well, I'm giving that a few moments just to dry and be really secure, and I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up. I'm going to take a couple of the stickers from the collection. I've got This Way and Wrong Way, which are just really fun additions, and I'm going to stick them to a piece of white cardstock and then cut them out. Now my tab is very secure and my glue gun is, just about ready because I've got a dollop that's come off there. I'm now going to apply a line of glue to the first of the valley folds, and I'm going to glue this along the first pencil line here. So it's actually easier if you apply your glue to the pencil line, that way you know you've got it in just the right place. Don't worry about how messy this does or doesn't look, because it doesn't matter, no one's going to see under here. And just lift that and hold it. You can't really see that, but I'm just holding it on the pencil line. Now you're going to repeat this, giving each one a good 30 seconds or so to cool and dry. And when you reach the end, you can put glue on the last tab and fold that down onto the edge of the card. You don't need to do this with hot glue, but I'll do that since it's here. That should just fit nicely on the edge there. Now I'm just going to adhere some of these really fun arrows to the front of the card, just putting glue on the peaks there. So I've got This Way and I've got Wrong Way. Now when everything's dry, we can look at our optical illusion. So if you move it to one edge, you get the complete image of one of your pictures. And then if you move it round to the other side, you get the complete picture of your other image. How fun is that? So we go from the pink or purple Alice there with her large bottle of drink me liquid. We've got the large butterfly above her, we've got the large teacups, and then as you turn it, you see you've got the Mad Hatter, you've got the White Rabbit, you've got the playing cards as well. There's so much in there, and from both directions you can see the wrong way and the this way. How fun is that? Now this technique can be done with other patterned papers, other images as well, even with photos. I've done that before with a couple of family photos and gifted it to the recipient. Have some fun with this. You're going to absolutely love it. It's so easy to do. You'll find everything from the Alice in Wonderland collection linked down below, and you can follow this link just here too. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and we think you're really going to love this crafting video just here too. Take care, everybody. See you soon.